Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about our full body workouts or just full body training programs good for gaining a lot of muscle mass. But before I start, let me show you how I look like. Let me do some flexing for you. This might prove that I know what I'm talking about, because I have plenty of muscle mass. Okay, so full body workouts, usually you train every muscle group of the body. Usually full body training programs are 3 days a week, so you're training only 3 days a week and you're training every muscle group on each workout. Usually you do like one exercise per muscle group. For example, a lot of people start with the barbell back squat, then they move on to the barbell bench press, and they just do one exercise per muscle group. And okay, so you have the legs, you do squats, the bench press, probably pull-ups or barbell rows. You might do an isolation exercise for your arms. So okay, let's say you started out with the barbell back squat, then you moved on to the barbell bench press. You decided to do the bodyweight pull-ups, dumbbell curl, an isolation exercise for your triceps, 5 exercises so far, and an isolation exercise for your shoulders, dumbbell lateral raises, 6 exercises. Now we need something for the hamstrings, maybe the barbell good morning. So we did 7 exercises. Probably each exercise you're going to do between 3 to 5 sets. Let's go with the 5 sets with 3-minute rest times in between the sets. So 7 exercises is going to be 35 sets with 3 minutes. That's going to be, I believe, over 90 minutes. Now most people won't be training that much, so let's actually go with 4 sets instead. So 4, you're going to do 28, but let's say that I'm just going to round that number to 30. 3 minutes, that's going to be again 90 minutes. It's fine, that's fine. If we go with 3 sets 29. Okay, let's go with 3 sets, it's a lot more realistic. You do 21 sets total, 7 different exercises, 3 sets on each. You have 60 minutes of training total time in the gym. Now that's the approach that most people will take, so they're going to do that 3 times a week. So for each muscle group you have 9 sets. So my opinion is that full body training programs, they are very bad for muscle growth. They're very bad. I mean, there are a lot better options for just growing a lot of muscle mass, but let me explain why I believe they're so bad for just muscle growth. First of all, you can't really do enough volume for each muscle group, and you're kind of limited with a few exercises that you have to do in this workout because of the full body nature of the program. You're only limited by a few exercises that you can do, and your volume your weekly volume might be okay, but still you're not getting enough training volume per workout. I believe you need a certain amount of sets, high quality sets, to trigger the muscle protein synthesis to start growing. And if you don't do that, your gains are going to come a lot slower. Now, for pure beginners, that might be fine, but only for a few months. Seriously, I believe, even if you don't have the time, I believe that full body workouts, they are very bad for muscle growth. So the full body nature of these programs means that some of your muscle groups are going to actually get less work, even if you do the same amount of sets. Because, let me explain. Most people, they start with barbell back squats. Now, when you start out, the exercise that you start out with first, the muscles that are worked from that exercise are going to get the best training response because you're fresh and you can push these sets a lot harder. And the muscle groups that you start out, the first 2 or 3 muscle groups that you start out with, they're going to get the best training response, the best gains. The muscles that you do last, they're going to get the worst gains. And some muscles, the last muscle that you're training, might not get much. So that's a big problem, and I would say I'm not a fan. I'm not even a fan of upper lowers, but they're a lot better. I would say I like to do a mix of the training multiple muscle groups in a day, but no more than 3 muscle groups. 2 to 3 muscle groups in a day, I would say, is the optimal. And if you can only train 3 days a week, whatever, it's not going to make a big difference. Still, maybe the best option for you is to train each muscle group only once a week. That's perfect for you. Just make sure you can do something like chest and triceps with a little bit of shoulders maybe. And again, you're going for 20 sets. So you can do 5 sets of the barbell bench press, 5 sets of maybe some triceps exercise, overhead, for example, the barbell overhead extension, 5 sets again. Now we have left 10 sets. Let's say we do 5 sets of the lateral raises, for example, and 5 sets of dumbbell shoulder press. Now on the next day, second day, 5 sets of barbell rows, 5 sets of pull-ups, 5 sets of barbell curls, 5 sets of dumbbell curls. Again, the muscles that you're working, they're going to get a lot more volume, and you're going to be training these muscles fresh. This is going to make a big difference. On the third day you can do legs, 5 sets of barbell back squats, 5 sets of the barbell good morning, maybe do some 5 sets of weighted sit-ups, and maybe 5 sets of upright rows against shoulders. You don't need to train like a specific muscle group. You can combine a lot of different muscle groups together, get a lot more out of your training program. Just because your training program says that you're training legs on day 3, that doesn't mean that you can't do some legs on day 3. So a lot of people might consider full body training programs because they don't have enough time and they believe that they need the high frequency when they don't really need it. High frequency is kind of overrated, to be honest, and ultra high volume is also overrated. And I'm going to tell you what's underrated. That's actually training harder, taking the sets very close to failure, doing limit sets, that's underrated. Also, progressive overload is kind of in between. Like if you're training hard and you're actually gaining muscle, you don't need progressive overload, but a lot of people, they need it because they're lazy in the gym. And to be honest, let's say they start with a certain weight on the barbell bench press, for example, they start with 150 pounds, and that's their 20 rep max. They can do 20 reps on the bench press, but they start out with 10 reps, so that's easy. And each week they add 5 pounds, but it's easy. And the first 5 training sessions, probably they're not going to do anything in terms of muscle growth stimulation. They're not going to do anything. So that's why I'm saying progressive overload is kind of overrated, but also some people need it because they're lazy at the gym. But again, that's a different topic for another video. But my opinion, and not just my opinion, and also my training experience, says that full body workouts, they're not that good. Maybe for very fresh beginners that are just starting out in the gym, maybe to learn the basic exercises, it's a good idea. But again, I don't think that you can learn how to perform a certain exercise perfectly if you're only doing like 3 sets. Even 9 sets, I would say you need a lot more. So full body workouts, I'm not a fan. I prefer the training 2 to 3 muscle groups in a day. And again, just because you can only train 3 days a week, that doesn't mean that you're not going to make great gains. You're probably going to make perfect gains for your lifestyle. So thanks for watching, and let's finish this video again with some flexing. And also don't forget to contact me on my Instagram and my email that I'm going to leave in the description for custom training programs and online personal training.